Good morning, everyone. My name is Charles Rather. I'm the managing partner at AmLaw Group. Today, I wanted to talk about a franchise opportunity that is quite unique and quite popular among our clients for attaining an E-2 visa. For those of you who aren't familiar, an E-2 is a visa that's a product of a bilateral treaty between the U.S. and another country. There's probably maybe about 100 E-2 treaties in effect with countries throughout the world. They have treaties in effect for almost all Western European countries, most North American countries, quite a few Asian countries as well, including Japan, Australia, even Pakistan, even Iran, believe it or not. But the value of the E-2 is that it requires a relatively not too large of an investment in a U.S. business, and that allows you to live indefinitely here in the U.S. You have to renew your visa every so often. How often you have to renew it depends on the country you're from, because the visa duration depends on the country. The maximum duration is for 5 years. The shortest is for 90 days. Again, that's for the visa duration. Once you get to the U.S., you're allowed to stay here for every 2 years without leaving the country. If you don't leave the country, then you would have to renew your status here every 2 years. You can look at some of our other videos on our channel where we talk in more detail about the E-2 and different aspects of it. But getting back to this franchise opportunity, the interesting thing about this franchise opportunity is, first of all, it allows for passive management. So you don't have to be like a typical franchisee where you're running the business on a day-to-day basis. You have to go into the office, manage the personnel, stuff like that. The franchisor is able and willing, and most of their applicants are selecting this option, to manage the whole project for you. So there's really not too much required from you. That's a big plus for a lot of our clients. What is this franchise we're talking about? It's actually property management. The franchise operates in Central Florida, where it's almost a year-round tourist destination, in large part because of Orlando and all the tourists and theme parks in that area. They rent out relatively large single-family homes in the general area, the Orlando area, some places on the west coast of Florida as well. These tend to be large homes, 4, 5, even 6, 7 bedrooms. They all have their own individual pools, relatively nice yards. So these are relatively high-end properties that are being rented out. So the franchisor sells to the investors a packet of rental agreements. For purposes of an E-2, we would say you'd have to invest in at least $200,000 of these rental agreements, so that would come out to purchasing 8 rental agreements. So you purchase these 8 rental agreements. That gives you the right to manage and earn your rental income from the operations of this, from the operations and management of these 8 units that you've purchased. Of course, you can buy more units if you like, but again, for purposes of the E-2, anything below purchasing 8 contracts would be a little bit risky in terms of getting the E-2 approved. So if you'd like to manage the business yourself, you're certainly able to. You can do the marketing for the properties, register the clients, collect the money from them, from the tenants. If there's any repairs that have to be done, you can do that and take care of everything. Or you can delegate this to the franchisor. And the terms are relatively reasonable in our estimation, and the ROI, the return on investment, is very safely 10 to 12%, and in many cases it can be above that level. Again, because of franchise rules, the franchisor is not allowed to make any financial promises about financial returns and return on investment, but they feel confident in making claims that the client can rely on 10 to 12% per annum, and quite likely the return will be higher. If you're interested in getting more information about this opportunity, please contact us directly. We can put you in touch with the franchisor. They've had probably about 50 successful cases for E-2 visas using this model. And to my knowledge, they haven't even had a denial so far. Neither have we for any of our clients who've invested in this project. So again, contact us to get information about this franchise and how you can realize your dream of coming to the U.S. on a pretty good budget and in a very safe way of making your money work for you. Till next time, this is Charles Rather.